It was a calm afternoon on the ranch. The sun was shining, the horses were grazing, and for once I thought maybe, just maybe, HOA Karen would keep to herself. But peace and Karen never lasted long in the same sentence. This time, she decided to call the cops on my wife. Her reason? Apparently, my wife was wearing a gun. Now, what Karen didn't know, and was about to find out in the most embarrassing way possible, was that my wife, Sarah, wasn't just wearing a gun. She was the new chief of police. It all started when Sarah went out to the pasture, sidearm holstered, checking the fence lines before dusk. It was standard. Ranch life meant coyotes, wild hogs, and the occasional rattlesnake. Karen, from her self-appointed surveillance post behind her hedge, gasped like she had witnessed a felony. She pulled out her phone and screamed into it. "There's a woman walking around with a firearm on my street." Dispatch took her call politely and forwarded it straight to the police department, where Sarah was literally sitting in the system as the commanding officer. While Karen ranted about illegal weapons, I got a text from Sarah. She called 911 on me again. Should I answer it? Absolutely, I replied, but make it funny. Minutes later, 2 patrol cars rolled up. Sarah had called them off duty just for the occasion. Karen was standing near the fence, hands on her hips, ready to identify the suspect. When the squad cars stopped, Sarah stepped forward, badge gleaming, cool as ever. Karen froze. "Why you? You're the one with the gun." Sarah tilted her head slightly. "Yes," she said calmly, "and I'm also the one who runs this department." The silence that followed could have powered an entire small town. One of the officers coughed into his hand to keep from laughing. I stood on the porch, coffee in hand, watching the scene unfold like it was my own private comedy show. Karen's face went through every shade of red, her voice cracking as she said, This is a violation of HOA safety rules." Sarah smiled sweetly. "Ma'am, I am the law, and you're about 3 complaints away from obstruction and harassment." Karen tried to backtrack, stammering something about community standards, but Sarah wasn't having it. She pulled out her citation pad and wrote her up for misuse of emergency services, her second in under a month. By now, neighbors had gathered to watch, phones out, whispering and chuckling. One even yelled, "Karen, maybe don't call 911 on the police next time." As Sarah walked back toward the house, the setting sun glinting off her badge, Karen retreated to her yard, humiliated yet again. The officers waved to me as they left, still grinning, and I could tell this story was going to make the rounds at every barbecue for months. Later that evening, Sarah sat beside me on the porch, sipping iced tea. "Think she'll ever learn?" she asked. I shook my head. "Nope, but every time she doesn't, it just gets better." The stars came out over the quiet ranch, the crickets hummed, and peace, at least temporarily, returned. Somewhere across the fence line, Karen was probably scribbling in her HOA notebook, plotting her next disaster. But for now, all was calm, because on my land, the law wasn't just on my side. It lived here.